welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a fun one. I'm going to be trying a new to me indie brand. So I have two little palettes here from Shine by SD. These are a Canadian brand and they did a collab. This is the Duality 2 collab. So I picked these up when they launched on April 15th. They sold out super quick. I haven't had a chance to play with them, but they're actually restocking these tomorrow, Friday, May 26th. So I thought now's the perfect time to just go over these, try them out. Here's what they look like. There's the Dusk palette and then the Dawn palette. So these are all just specialty shades. I'm gonna go over, swatch them, mostly just talk about them a little bit, swoon a little bit on these shades because they are just multi-chromes, duochromes. Test them out on my eyes, see what I think, do a very just simple look here, and that's gonna be today's video. So if that sounds like fun to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet. But now let's just get into playing around with these palettes. All right, so like I said, these are collab palettes with two Instagrammers, and they are mjones 5018 and bizarrovolta. I hope I'm saying that right. I will link their Instagram handles down below. They also have codes for this collection, and I believe that they're splitting commission. They're both affiliate codes, so it doesn't matter which one you use, but I'll put both of them down in the description box below. These are very pricey palettes. So they each retail for 88 US dollars, 120 Canadian dollars. So it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of money, but I've been trying to get into multi-chromes. I really haven't played around with them. So I took the plunge and got both of them. So this is the Dawn palette. Once again, I'm going to be going over swatches, and then the Dusk palette. I've just been, I don't know, there's something about these two that really drew my attention. They kind of came out around the same time as the Nomad Royal European palette, and those also had multi-chromes, but they were more of a deep jewel tone multi-chrome, and I've just been drawn to like these more lighter pastel, just something a little bit lighter on the lid rather than just like really, really dark. So that's why I decided to splurge on these. I hope they don't disappoint. I have not touched them whatsoever other than, I got my palette, I scraped the corner there. But this is going to be a first impression, and then I'm just going to do a little test look on my eyes here, but mostly just want to play around and swatch them. So let's go over that. So let's get started swatching. I'm going to start with the Dawn palette. It's a little bit lighter, as you can probably tell, because the other one's Dusk. And let's just start with the first three. They don't seem too flaky. I've never tried this formula before, and I'm going to swatch these on the back of my arm here, but I'm also going to try and just insert in a video showing the shift more in lower lighting, since with the studio lights, it can be a little bit brighter, harder to see the shift. So let's just get started. This one here is Granny Magic, and in the viewfinder, it's looking very silver, but it's much more of like a purple pastel. And then here we have Fairy Ring, which is kind of just that pink to gold shift, really pretty. And then here we have Lorelei, I think. And that's gonna be more of like a blue shift. Super pretty already, first three down. And then the last three in the Dawn palette. So this is Whistling Wood. This is probably the darkest, and it's much more of like a very true gold. And when I shift my finger, I see a lot of pink in there. Next, we have Echidna. And this to me is like what I imagine, just like a typical multi-chrome, kind of what's held me back from trying a multi-chrome, because it's just a little bit darker than maybe I would want, but still very shifty, very pretty. Now that I see it in person, I want it all over the lid. And then this last one is Changeling. I said this one was the darkest, but this one really is. So this is the Dawn palette, just sparkly goodness. I'm going to try not to swoon too much here. And unfortunately, you can't buy these as singles. You can only buy them in the bundle for $88, and that's before the discount code. I used a discount code, so I recommend doing that, just saving a little bit of money. And I do think, I just have to say, I had these shipped to Europe, and they shipped pretty quickly. I do know that this is a restock, and they do, once they sell out, because they probably will. They will restock again. So this is not the last time you'll be able to get this palette. If you're watching this video the next day, I will have any times, like launch times, listed down below because we all live in different time zones. I believe it launches 10 p.m. for me, but in New York, what did I write down? I think that that's 4 p.m. New York time, 1 p.m. Arizona time. So just depending on where you are in the world, you're gonna wanna be there on the website right at launch if you wanna get these right this time, or you're probably gonna have to wait for the next restock. But again, here is the Dawn palette. Very excited. And then hopefully those low light swatches helped see the shift a little bit more. And now let's swatch the Dusk palette. I'm gonna keep Dawn just up here so we can compare, and then I can kind of pick out my colors I want to try. So the first one is Givenchy. I'm hopefully saying that correctly. One of the collaborators is German, so I'm assuming that's where that comes from. And I believe it's an astrology word when I looked it up how to say it. But it kind of has more of a purple silver, whereas Granny Magic has more of like a white base. Then the next one is Apex, and this is kind of where we get into the greens, and that is clearly flaky. You just saw that entire flake come off of my arm, and kind of more just like a pastel green with some silver tying this one in. This one I have to say right now is probably my favorite. And then lastly in that top row on the Dusk, we have Purple Moon, which is more of, to me, like a purple blue pewter. That's what it's looking like to me. So here's the first row of the Dusk palette. 3 more to go. So this one is Moon Eyes, another purple. Part of the reason why I had to pick it up, I love purples clearly. And this is more of like a gray purple, whereas this is like that blue purple. And then here again, just like more of a white base purple. I will probably be playing with the purples. Then the middle one is Willow the Wisp. And this is the most sheer out of all of them, like the most just iridescent, I would say, out of all of them. Has more of a translucent base. And then the last one is Fieldgeist, which I, again, hope I'm saying correctly. Very similar to Moon Eyes, but less of like that charcoal gray and more of a bright gray. So here is the 2 palettes, all of them, if I can fit them in frame here, swatched out. And, you know, I probably gravitate towards Dusk a little bit. This is obviously, I have not put these on my eyes yet, but just color story wise, I prefer this over this. I think it's going to be tough. I'm going to try and use some shades from both palettes on my eyes. So let's decide that now, because I'm only going to do one look. I am going out later. It's my mom's birthday, so I'm taking her to dinner. And so I think that we'll use Granny Magic. That one just immediately called to me. This one, Moon Eyes. So this on the inner part, let's use 3 shades and kind of just do like a gradient. Granny Magic on the inner part. This one, Givenchy, I think that's what that one's called, and Moon Eyes. So we'll kind of do a gradient with the purples. It'll go with my shirt. So now that I have these swatched out, let's see how they work on the eyes. I'm hoping there's not too much fallout, but we're gonna just wait and see. I'm going to apply glitter glue. I usually always forget to apply glitter glue. This time I put it on my desk so I would not forget. And this is just gonna be a first impression. I have the NYX glitter glue, and I do have MAC Wedge just in the crease a little bit for some definition. That's currently in Shop My Stash, which was supposed to go up today, but now it's gonna go up Sunday. So if you like Shop My Stash, make sure you're subscribed because that video will be coming on Sunday, and everything else that I'm wearing is listed down in the description box below. But I have glitter everywhere. These are a little bit flaky, so let's hope that they don't cause too much fallout. I'm gonna apply the glitter glue. I'm gonna do one eye at a time, I think. Just because I don't use glitter glue as often as I really should. I keep it like in my little acrylic thing, but for some reason it's not a step that I'm used to because I used to not wear these really high shine glitters before. So I just need to get into the routine of using this. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a second. All right, now that that's dry, I think I'm gonna go light to dark, just so I have more of a light. I don't wanna start with the dark because I might go overboard and it'll be too dark. I'm gonna go into Granny Magic. That's in the Dawn palette. I'm going to try and press this carefully on the inner third of my lid, kind of middle half. See, like I said, I get carried away because my eyes are smaller, so I try to do the first third and then all of a sudden I did half. That is so beautiful. It's exactly kind of what I wanted out of a multi-chrome, like what I was hoping for. More of like an iridescent pastel. We'll see how this goes. And I am using a BK Beauty 209. I recently picked up some BK Beauty brushes. I did a haul from America. I'll link that up in the corner if you're interested in seeing stuff that I picked up that my mom brought over from America while she was over there. She brought me some things. So that looks beautiful. Now I'm going to use the same brush and go into Givenchy. That's in the Dusk palette. And I'm going to apply that in the center, tapping over Granny Magic. I'm probably going to try and just bring this over, and we'll put that other shade a little bit over it so it blends. There's not much, at least without my glasses right now. You're getting a very poor first impression, but without my glasses, I'm not seeing too much of a difference between the two shades. A little bit of maybe color. Yeah, I mean, the middle looks a little bit more purple. I have very poor eyesight, so let's just wait until I put my glasses on before I give my opinions. I did also use the same brush. And then lastly, going into Moon Eyes, I'm going to tap this on the outer edge. Probably just kind of bring this through the crease and try not to rub too much and really just tap, because I really just do not want glitter all over my face. If I was using these every day, not just for a video, I probably would have done my eyeshadow first. However, I will say that I have zero fallout with the patting method and using the glitter glue. Okay, I think that looks really pretty. I can kind of see the gradient, definitely with Moon Eyes, but Givenchy and Granny Magic, not as much, which I still have them here. So here is Givenchy, hopefully Givenchy, and then here's Granny Magic. So it's kind of hard to see. They aren't too different. I would say that out of all of them, these are the most similar. So maybe that's my fault for picking the most similar ones. Granny Magic has more of a silver and the Givenchy has a little bit more purple, but they are very similar in the palette. If you could buy these as singles, I would say you probably don't need both, but they are in two different palettes. So if you only end up picking one, you won't have the repeat. I think for the lower lash line, I'm going to go into Moon Eyes, or should I use a different one? Let's use a different one. So for the lower lash line, I think maybe I want to use this, like more of a pink. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the fifth one in the palette of Dawn, which is Echidna. So let's use that one. I'm going to use a BK Beauty 210, kind of just more of like a dome shape, very small. I did not use glitter glue down here. So this will be the true test. I like that a lot. I am so happy I did that. I think that it really brings like a fieriness and a differentness because I'm wearing a purple sweater plus purple eye. Like it's just a lot of purple, and the pink fiery really stands out. I like that a lot. So now I'm going to apply some liner off camera, do the other eye, mascara, all that good stuff. And then I'll be back to just kind of give my wrap up thoughts, first impressions on these two palettes. I'm back with both eyes complete. And here is what it's looking like. I am blown away. I love it so, so much. I'm very happy with both of these palettes. Now, do I think like you should run out, set your alarm for tomorrow? I mean, yes, I bought it. I love it. I think you just have to be honest with yourself if you really want to use multi-chromes. If you're going to use these are quite expensive. So that's something to take into consideration. But at the end of the day, it's your money, like spend it how you want. I will again have all the information on this launch listed down below in the description box. But I'm blown away by these palettes and just the quality of the shadows. They are so sparkly. I went to go take the swatches off my hand in the bathroom, and it just, in the bathroom, even like, it was like little diamonds like gleaming off of my arm. I love it. I love how this looks. For being new to multi-chromes, like this is new to me, so I'm just very giddy and excited about it, and I love the looks. These are shades I'm just gonna use a lot. These fit my aesthetic, but maybe they don't fit yours. And that's just where you have to think about your purchases. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I can tell you just first impressions wise, I'm very, very happy that I splurged on these. And I'm glad that this is the direction that I decided to go with multi-chromes. I might have fallen down a rabbit hole. I know that with this collection that they're re-releasing tomorrow, they're also launching new shades, and I might have to take a look at those and see. I might start to have a multi-chrome problem. That's just a little bit on my thoughts though. You know, when I was doing the other eye off of camera, I did get more fallout versus this eye, and I don't know if that's just because my brush was too loaded up with product. So I used my little switch, kind of just got the product off and then went back in to reapply on this eye, and that really helped with the fallout. So I think you just need to make sure when using these that you don't overload your brush with product. I do want to just try a few different ways with these and just find out maybe my preferred method, not necessarily using a glitter glue, but I have this vision of just kind of like sheerly swiping it across the whole lid and seeing how sheer I can get it. So stick around, make sure you're subscribed, because I do come back after first impressions and just give more detailed thoughts on any products that I try. So I will be doing that with this once I can just try these out a little bit more, use some other shades. I still really want to do like a pink look, a blue look, a green look. I mean, there's so much with these palettes. The purple is definitely my favorite. The German name, of course, is probably my favorite shade. This one here, which is Gegenschein. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. But this is my favorite shade, the one that I put in the center of my lid. I wish that I had made that more of the focal point, that I probably should have put that color on first and then done the Granny Magic in the inner corner. I think Granny Magic kind of just took over this look more than I wanted it to, but that's okay. I am still fully head over heels, just smitten with these palettes. And I'm so happy that I put this Echidna shade on the lower lash line. I think it really made a difference. And then I just tight lined with black and put mascara on. I kept it really simple. I wanted to let the shadows really shine through. That's really all I have to say about these palettes though. I would love to know in the comments if you plan on picking these up. Are you a multi-chrome amateur like myself? Are you a little bit of a novice, or are you more advanced? And if you are advanced, are these ones that you're interested in, or do you find them to be already done in the multi-chrome space? Because for me, I don't have anything like this, but it would be interesting to hear people's opinions who maybe have more of a collection of specialty indie multi-chrome shades. If these are unique in your collection, I would love to know that. I couldn't find a lot of videos on YouTube about these collections. It seems like it's definitely more Instagram geared since the collaborators are primarily on Instagram. So let me know your comments down below if you plan on picking these up, if you think they're worth the price tag. But that's all that I have for you today. I hope the swatches were helpful. I hope this was fun for you. It was kind of a different video for me. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye, everyone.